All right, I guess we're good to go. Okay, River TV is good to go. All right, so let's open the meeting for the Fayston Selectboard for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Robert Vassar Town Hall. We can go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Chuck Martell, Chair of the Select Board. Maddie
Vassar, Select Board Assistant, and John Quick.
All right.
Eve Silverman, minutes.
Ron Graves, Select Board member.
Sarah Stavraki, treasurer.
All right.
Candace Porter, Cemetery Commissioner.
Welcome.
Dave Copel, Cemetery Commissioner.
Laura Artisan with the Rec District.
All right. Thank you all for coming tonight, and we'll try to get to the early part on the agenda quickly so that we can get you on as fast as we can. So the first item is to approve the Select Board special meeting minutes of October 28th, and I guess Ron and I were the ones that have to vote on that. So I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll accept. Second it.
Okay, I guess we're all in favor then. I will sign the minutes. The next one is to approve the Select Board budget meeting minutes from November 18th, and I guess we were all at that one, but I'll make a motion to approve those as well.
I'll second it.
All right, I guess we're all in favor on that one also. Thank you, Maddie. The minutes of November 25th, we need Mike, so we'll try to get back to those a little later in the agenda. And then we have the budget meeting minutes of December 2nd, which we were both at, Ron, so
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve those as well.
I'll second it.
A copy of them.
And we're all in approval of that one. Okay. All right, so that takes care of the minutes. Until Mike gets back, we'll maybe move that to other business if he's back in time. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? I had one, that we need to go into executive session later in the meeting to discuss a legal issue. Anything else we need to add? All right, so we will do that at the end of our session. Any public comments beyond what you're all here to represent? Seeing none, Laura, I think you're the next up on the agenda. Welcome.
Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, thank you guys. Well, I'd like to start by thanking Madison. Together we are saving greenhouse gases. She always prints and posts our agendas. I live more than 20 miles away from here because I live on the backside of Warren. But I'll start just by going over our accomplishments and plans for 2026. So we have two overarching themes for next year and the Rec District. And one is we are developing a new 5-year strategic plan. So if there's anybody in the Select Board or other groups in Fayston that have suggestions for us, we're all ears. We're working with our many partners. We typically, give 15 to 18 grants per year to recreation and environmental groups, so we work closely with them. Done a survey and other things in the past, so we'll be making our draft strategic plan available in the beginning of 2026. We've worked on it as a board a lot over this past 6 months. We're also continuing to work with recreation partners to balance recreation and stewardship of the environment. That conservation and recreation visioning project that was part of the big VORAC grant. We'll continue working on that with our partners. And we also have people saying they want more indoor recreation space. So while we're not committing to anything, we're going to do research to see if there is an appetite in the valley to develop more indoor recreation space. So biggest accomplishment, I think, for 2025 was getting Moortown to join the Rec District. So after 30 years, they are now one of our partners, and they're happy about it. We're all glad. It's an equity situation that we we feel like is a good move forward. We closed out the big VORAC grant. We got every penny of the $408,019. I felt like a bit of an accountant the last half of 2025 getting that done, but all worked out. The VORAC deliverables are on our website, an important online mapping tool that we hope you'll all look at, and it's a way to look closely at a specific piece of land or place you like to go. And there's also 13 key ecological features that if you were going to develop new trails, it would be better to not have a trail near one of those features. So that's all on our website, and if you have any questions, let me know. We have transitioned, we retain the fiscal responsibility for the remaining funds for conservation and recreation visioning, but the planning district is taking over the administrative part of that. So we're starting to have quarterly meetings and continue to work with our partners. We were glad last summer that we had an irrigation system at Mad River Park because we needed it. We also switched to a portalet vendor that's has more of an environmental focus. I'm not going to go through all of these points, but I would like to highlight some of the workshops we did. A lot of things focused on safety, selling bike helmets and discounted bike lights. We also did a Stop the Bleed workshop, so to give people confidence in using a tourniquet if they were ever in a situation that was needed. We'll probably do that again in 2026. And we really wanted kids in the valley to learn how to swim. There's not many instructors, so I was trying to get our own swim program organized. There just were not enough instructors, but we partnered with Waterbury Recreation, and almost 30 of our first and second graders got free swim lessons last spring or in the summer. So in our budget, we've put in $4,000 for next year to do that again. We think it's really important with all the streams and rivers we have around here and just general safety. So we were really happy to do that. So last year we awarded $55,000 to 17 groups in grants. This year we have that $82,000 includes the $4,000 of swim money, but we have 17 applicants, and we're in the process of deciding grants now. You can see our initiatives for 2026. We'll keep an eye out for any big grant opportunities that might benefit the Valley if we partnered with other groups like we did for that VORAC grant. But sadly, a lot of the state money is dried up, and it's a hard point in time for fundraising, as I think we all know. We'll continue to work with all the towns and make sure Moortown is integrated into our work in all the different ways. We are also going to look closely at youth sports scholarships, as well as keeping our finger on the pulse of middle school sports, because if you read an article in the Valley Reporter, they're looking toward a budget for 2027 that might cut sports at the middle school, or some of them, and we don't have the capacity to take that over, but we want to hear what they have to say and see if there are small ways that we can help. We think middle school sports are really important to the kids in our community, and we want to be part of those discussions. And again, we'll have our strategic plan available, and would love input. For 2026, we're asking for flat funding, so we can look at the budget. That's $40,000 from Fayston. And you guys asked to have a little bit more financial information this year. We have, in our budget, we have a carryover for the first time in 30 years, and that's because we had to have a reserve for that really big VORAC grant. So we put, over the 3 years while we administered that, we put some money aside each year to make sure if anything happened or costs went higher, that we could accomplish that grant. You were not allowed to go back to the state and ask for more. So that carryover is a one-time situation. Some of it is some grant money that has not been spent. Some of those 17 organizations, 2 or 3 of them did not spend their full grant money. Some of that carryover is what I just said, a one-time situation that we hope to be able to make some enhancements at Mad River Park. And that's part of our strategic plan, is to look closely about things we might want to do there, lights, bathrooms, trying to get, more groups using it, et cetera. And we also have a carryover in the Mad River Park budget, which is on the right, and that's because we got a Lawson's grant a couple years ago and have been using some of that money when we need it for capital improvements at Mad River Park, but we still have some of that left. Any questions on the budget or my report?
A question on the budget, I guess. So total available funds for this year, including what the towns are gonna provide, is $206,000. Expenditures of $139,900. So you're anticipating a carryover again, substantial carryover?
I don't think we would have a carryover. I mean, this is the first time in 30 years we've ever had a carryover, other than a few $100s, because obviously a big point of the rec district is to distribute funds to our partners and keep, youth sports and trails and other things going. So we're either gonna give more funding out in grants with that carryover, or look at enhancements to Mad River Park, or I've also gotten reports in from all of the different recreational infrastructures in the valley. I've asked the stadium and Couples Field and the rec hub and, all of the Brooks Field at Warren Elementary and Moortown School with the infrastructure behind them, to see, what's needed, what's coming up, so that we understand their goals. And, like both tennis courts in both Moortown and Warren need resurfacing, which is quite expensive. So there's some other things that are big and on the horizon that we have to, plan for, possibly help with, but we've got to understand those needs. So it's highly unusual that we have this bit of money, but, we'll put it to good use and we'll share it with all the community groups that need it.
So the intent is to spend it this year on other projects that might not be listed on here.
Right, and we're gonna spend it very judiciously. I mean, we had to put it aside for that Borak grant. It just didn't make any sense to be building a $230,000 bridge, and when steel prices were going up, and not knowing if things would be more expensive. And luckily, the partners did very accurate forecasting, and the budget for Borak did not go up too much, just a little bit, but we were able to cover it. And so we feel good about that. And it basically, we would have given away more money in grants in the past 3 years if we hadn't put that to a reserve for the Borak, the big project. So, now we're able to maybe do some, one-time bigger things that are needed throughout the valley.
Did you talk about the carryover from Mad River Park as well?
Yeah, that is because we got the Lawson's grant.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
and
what-
so we, we have a little bit of income from the different groups, and we are looking at a new, finding a new group to mow at Mad River Park, and that might be more expensive, but basically we have a little cushion there because of the Lawson's grant from a couple years ago.
Another question, just out of
Sure.
curiosity. So you mentioned the indoor recreation, people have been asking about that. What types of things are you getting requests for?
Oh, well, we did a survey 2 years ago, and a pool, indoor pool or indoor soccer, because a lot of people want to play, kids, families want soccer, more year-round, and obviously still on the ground a lot. And there are like bubble kind of structures that are not permanent but allow for, indoor space.
Right.
So they're huge projects, and I do a lot of networking with the recreation districts around the state, and really the only way to build a facility that, is in the many millions of dollars is to, have public support for bonds in the towns. And, we think that's unlikely, but we have heard it so often that, especially in winter, more indoor recreation space is wanted. I mean, has the whole time I've lived in the valley, people want that, because most families can't afford a membership at Bridges or Shark. So you can't go to a pool, you can't, have a indoor bigger space for little kids, whatever. And, the schools share their space, and we'll look at that. We're having a lot of indoor pickleball and other things, but, with snow on the ground 5 months out of the year, people talk about that a lot. So, and it's been.
Yeah, it's been talked about for years. And-
since our kids were little, right?
and
All of us,
as
right?
our, quite frankly, as our school taxes keep going up and up and up, there's so much pushback.
Yeah.
You find the money
Yeah.
to do what you really want to do.
Right, and and we realize it's a huge long shot, but because people always tell us they want more indoor space, I mean, I think the only way to go about it would be a very slow and steady campaign for residents to say, well, if you care that much, would you pay more? And I think, who knows?
And you have the space, right? You have the land, really.
Yeah,
The
right.
stadium.
I mean, land isn't the problem, but
Right.
the,
Yeah,
building.
The building. Yeah.
Something is, and especially a pool is a huge price tag. So maybe,
the
indoor
carry-
soccer space is a little more
And
possible.
the carrying cost for a pool, just
Absolutely,
Yeah,
so,
exactly, right?
the yearly,
yeah,
Yeah.
but,
yeah.
so,
I agree.
you got to see what might be possible, and as part of our 5-year plan to see what might be possible, not like we're going to be building something in 5 years, so.
Right.
So-
Especially with the way costs.
Oh,
are
my
going up
goodness,
on
yeah.
everything now.
Yeah.
Property taxes and.
Crazy.
And all, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a rec conference today, and I said, if, is anybody else dealing with middle school sports maybe being cut? And people just looked at me and they're like, no. And, we feel like would be really tough on kids
But-
to have that go away.
I also feel that comes up every year. It's been as high as the varsity level.
Well-
And it never really happens. I've never seen it happen. It could.
Good,
I'm not
yeah,
saying-
right,
I'm not
right,
saying it, but
right.
I've never seen it, because there's a lot of pushback on that too.
Right, yeah. I think the school board is just asking for as many options as they can get. So,
Okay.
well, thank you. Anything
Okay.
else?
Ron?
All right,
Any
well,
questions? Anybody else
appreciate it.
have any questions? Well, Laura's here. Well, thank you. So the
Yeah.
ask,
Thank
just
you.
so everybody knows, is for $40,000 again from Fayston this year, which is level funded.
Level funding,
from
yeah.
last year. Okay.
Great. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Yes, same to you. Try to stay warm out there.
Now Chuck.
Yeah, that's impossible. Okay, next on the agenda is the cemetery commissioners, Dave and Candace, if you want to
Okay,
come up
come on
here
up.
and come and join us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you both for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
And that was
inviting
very
us.
eloquent from Laura. This is our first time before Yeah, we've never been invited.
So we didn't quite know
You've been here, though.
what
Oh,
you wanted
I've
to
been
hear.
here requesting
Oh.
things, but yeah.
So do you have like a little report
No,
prepared for
Well,
us?
no, we
well-
didn't know what to bring.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
I-
I have looked at our finances for the last few years, and I
Okay.
can certainly,
Well, I think what prompted us to ask you to come here was we were talking at one point in time about fixing the road that went along the Bragg Hill Cemetery.
yes, we could discuss that.
Right, and so we didn't know, is that town responsibility? Is that something that the cemetery commission has in their funding? So that started the whole discussion, and then we
Okay.
thought, well, we should have you here anyway, just to find out what's going on
Yeah.
and talk
also-
about that.
Probably
And
a-
also, we've done little things over the last couple of years, like the fence and the gravel, where I think we just need to know what's coming, what the ask might be. or-
Yeah, right.
Of course, I think that we are the only commission in the valley that does not get money from the town on a regular basis, okay?
Yeah, I don't think in the 20 years I've been here that there's ever been a line item for the cemetery.
Yeah,
No, I mean, years ago, when Zelda first took, maybe 30 years ago, took over, they gave her a few $1,000s a year for a while, and then she started selling lots, and that went away. And that's the last regular funding we've had. We break even pretty much every year. But we can't do any major projects. We did do one capital improvement project in the last several years, the wall at the South Fayston Cemetery on Bragg Hill, the stone wall Pat Livingston repaired
Looks
for us.
beautiful.
He did a
Yeah.
beautiful
And then
job.
somebody hit it with a car. Somebody.
What?
There's a couple of stones, I notice, I drive it
I hadn't
every
noticed
day. Right on the corner, they're disheveled. It looks like somebody.
Oh
Probably
dear.
the snowplow. It was probably the snowplow.
But I watched him do it every,
Oh, you-
just about. Yeah.
That's
And that was a
unfortunate.
case where there was some money given to us that prompted us to do that.
okay,
Right, we had a
And- but it
donation for,
Cost us $7,000
it cost
out of
us
yeah.
out of
yeah.
our lack of budget.
$7,500, I think, and the person donated $1,500. So that had put us kind of, that took away any surplus that we might have had. So South Fayston Bragg Hill is obviously the big hot property at the moment, and it's doing very well. I think every single lot I have ever sold in the 5 years I've been doing this has been on Bragg Hill. Now, we have burials at the other two cemeteries. We've even had a couple at Center Fayston. Not this year, but we have had burials at North Fayston, but I haven't sold any lots.
I know where Center Face is.
Oh, it's right.
in the woods.
It's
You're
in
right.
the woods.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
and
very small.
basically cremations
Yeah.
at this point.
Right, and,
Yeah.
it's basically closed except for burials.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, we are going to we get our money from selling lots and selling cornerstones and charging a fee when people are buried. Okay?
And that's frankly touchy. I mean, we pay almost as much as we get.
We don't make a huge profit
We
on
make very little on that, yeah.
on any of those. We are going to raise our prices a little bit next year, next season, in two areas. One, the last 2 years, we've had 2 each year full burials. Before that, for a year or two, we had blessedly none, because they are very hard to arrange. We have to arrange for an excavator and all of that stuff, and it's very expensive and very destructive to the cemetery, in fact. But of course, I don't make that judgment for people. If they want a full body burial, they have every right to it. But we're going to raise what we charge for it a little bit so that we get a little bit more profit for that. And then the other place where we're raising our fees a bit next year is for perpetual care. We have been charging $250 a lot, but it's a one-time fee. And considering what it cost us to maintain the cemeteries, that's almost laughable. So we're doubling that to $500 this coming year per lot, one-time fee. So, I mean, as long as there's space at Bragg Hill and we're selling lots, then we're fine financially, except for, and Dave's, we have some other projects we need. But to go back to your point about, hello. Do I need to wait?
No,
Go ahead.
no,
Zooming in.
He'll just chime in.
Okay. About that road, that was a mess, and, there was a spring that come up
Yeah.
onto the road. Now, the road belongs to the cemetery, which means it belongs to you technically, not so much, but it's on the cemetery commission, but we don't have the money to repair roads. As is the driveway up in North Fayston, which Dave has had you try to, it's really dicey, but you have to be able to access these cemeteries, obviously. And when the spring erupted, after all the rain we had last spring, we were having a burial like 10 days later or a week later, and I said, we've got to do something, but whatever they did is still okay.
Put stone in, I think that may
Yeah.
resolve the issue.
Can I go back to the cost of a plot?
Yes.
It's funny. I had a friend that I built for who was getting ready to pass.
Yes.
And he said, would you do me a favor? He said, I think that would be a beautiful place to live. Would you find out how much a plot cost?
Okay.
So I looked up Zelda. I went back and told him, and a big smile on his face, is that all it is?
Well, when did
That's
you
the
talk
truth.
to
That's the only
Zelda?
time-
The prices have gone up since Zelda.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like,
What was it?
Oh, it's not very, it's a
I
very
didn't
reasonable.
hear what you said. How much was it?
I don't know.
No,
It
well-
was like in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
It is.
And he was just, aghast. It was a big relief to
It,
him.
it is very, people are amazed, because if you go somewhere else up the valley, it's enormously more expensive. We try to keep, Zelda had the idea, kind heart that she is, that there should be basically almost a free burial for any Fayston citizen. Well, we can't do that, okay. But at the moment, we have a rate for Fayston residents, people who pay taxes in Fayston, let's put it that way, of $600 a lot. But then there are a few other expenses. There, you have to buy cornerstones, which cost another $400, and then there's the perpetual care. So it depends on whether your friend, and if you're not a Fayston resident, it's double that, it's $1,200.
He was, yeah.
He was?
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's in the $1,500.
Yeah,
It really is a bargain.
right. And I'm just saying that people don't really think about that when they're, buying in advance,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, back to the road discussion.
Yes.
Sorry.
So you have no funds to do any repair work on?
No,
No,
we're
first,
hand to
yeah, we
mouth.
have, as Ken had said, we sell lots and we have money there. And as you know, we have two funds. We have a perpetual care fund and we have another fund. And which total amount about 260,000 plus market value. So out of that, we generate $7,000 to $8,000 of dividends and interest a year. But basically, I'm of the old school, and I'm thinking we need to, even though there's two funds as perpetual care, when we run out of lots, and that's got to fund the maintenance. And our maintenance is running about $14,000 a year. So we had to pull some money out to pay for the wall to the tune of $7,000, and so that,
Can you just explain to us quickly how the perpetual care works?
perpetual care is a state mandate, and you're supposed to put money in the fund, and you can't touch anything but the interest.
That's what I thought.
That's
Right,
all.
the principal, you can't touch the
And
principal.
and the fund that we have is, I think, about 60,000.
Some 55 to 60,000.
Yeah.
And who puts, I see a statement in the town report every year. Who puts that together for you?
Ken puts that together.
Well, Edward Jones can't
No,
manage.
no, which you saw,
No, the report, there's a page.
Oh, I do, I do.
Candace does
I
that.
do.
The accounting, I guess, of the, okay.
How many lots are sold?
Sold
And
and,
it's the the balance fund, the fund balance.
Right,
Yes.
what we have in each account
Yeah.
and so forth, yes.
So what, as long as we're talking budget, our problems are dead trees in North Fayston. And I don't know, what probably costs 35 to 5 per tree to knock them out of there. And we don't really have funds to do that, and it's becoming, some of those are dead, so it's a problem. We would also like to, Zelda was on a push to clean the headstones, and she was trying to incorporate the Boy Scouts and other. I think we could do this, but with a pressure washer. And then I talked to Martin Patterson, who's the cleaner, the valley cleaner.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion how to do this, and he thought a pressure washer, and he's mentioned some detergents to use. And the big issue, the pressure washer is all fine, but we need a reservoir to be able to pump water out of. Some of this may be, I mean, the road commission has a big tank, right? That could,
They do
That
have
we, yeah,
Well,
we
you-
use for.
chloride though, right?
Chloride.
Chloride, yeah. Yeah.
It stores it in the winter too, though.
What?
It's like never empty, because it stores the chloride in the winter too.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'd be doing it in the summertime, and I don't know if,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
Chloride.
just grasping.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know if they have a pressure washer, a gas-driven pressure washer,
I
but
don't know. Mike, do you know?
They do. And we can actually, I can get you guys a tank for that. We have several dozen of them.
okay, okay.
You know, we use IBC totes for work, so they're 285 gallons. So we can always have one of those dropped there, and you can just, we use those and we just connect it directly to it. It has enough pressure in it to run the pressure wash, so you don't even need a pump.
Okay,
And then you can do them all.
okay, so that's something.
We can definitely get together and drop that stuff off there during the summer.
Okay,
right.
that's something that, and then the other thing that's a real problem for us, or what, my objective would be to digitize our records, because it's all longhand, and it's a problem. But there's money involved with that. Karen is going to look into costs. We don't even know what we're talking about costs. The last I looked, you had to get a subscription, and I didn't want to do that, because every year you have
Right.
a payment. And if you don't make the payment, well, you lose the service, so,
Right.
and so I just kind of
I
dropped it.
just want to show you what we're currently dealing, I think, Chuck, you probably are familiar, but
Yeah.
we are currently dealing with when people call and say, what's available and I say, well, I have to meet you up there, you'd never understand it, but I will send you a diagram and you'll get an idea, but and some of the copies of this are so smudged, it's hard to tell who's buried where, what lots are available, et cetera. Yeah,
It looks like there's quite a few open, how many open lots?
Well, there's
there's
quite a few there, plus the other half of that cemetery is not shown on that.
You mean the down the hill?
Down the hill, yeah.
Apparently it's been surveyed all the way.
It's been platted and
well,
marked. We
down
use-
to Bragg Hill Road, that field, but of course, we don't want to get into that,
A
maintain that
decision was made a
area
long time ago
until-
not to sell those. and-
No,
until, yeah. I sell, let's see, it's funny, most every year, it's been about the same. I've sold 8 lots this year and the year before and the year before. We might have a couple of more pending this year. But, so it's been pretty constant, and as long as we do that, of course, the maintenance, our maintenance fee is,
Did you say that other towns fund the cemetery commissions?
yes.
Out of curiosity, what do they, I mean,
Oh.
I know they have some big ones, you know, like Waitsfield has a couple.
Well, they all have about 3. Now, how big they all are, Warren, Moortown, and Waitsfield are the other cemetery commissions in the valley. I know Warren charges almost nothing for anything, but then the township pays for all their lawn maintenance and lawn and all of that stuff. So, But I'm not asking you to do that, because while we're still
I was
solvent,
just curious. I put
yeah,
that-
it just was very interesting. And we didn't know until recently, because nobody wanted to talk to each other. But now, we've kind of been talking to the other
Yeah.
commissioners
Well,
and
I'm sure we
finding
can
out.
find out what it is.
Oh,
because
yes,
it's public-
we know
public
it now,
knowledge,
we
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting.
Well, I remember last year, the whole discussion about natural burials
Oh,
came
yes,
up, and that kind of
yes.
pulled people together, right, to talk about.
Right.
Waterbury was allowing it, we
Right.
weren't prepared to do it, and
Right.
but not
Yeah,
Waterbury,
we've had
but
that discussion.
Waitsfield, rather.
And we decided
Yeah.
it was your choice, right?
Well, if
That's
we
what
keep,
decided.
We took that attitude.
Yeah.
we tried, we actually accommodated the lady and had it worked out, but then the son was fine with it, but personally, I think if you're going to do that, you're going to have a designated part of the cemetery for natural burials, instead of mixing it all up. So we did all that. We figured out how we could do it. Son approved, daughter disapproved because there was no view. Okay.
See, I'm just saying, I understand that now.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
we don't know, we don't know. If somebody really wanted it, it's a real problem for all the cemeteries there because we are not open 12 months out of the year. We're closed from the 1st of November to 1st of May. And if you die in the winter,
So you then. yeah,
then it's an expense, you
Not an
can't,
option, yeah.
well, you cannot sell somebody a lot and say, you have this lot, it will be a natural burial lot. You have to say, but you can only use it between,
Right.
yeah. Right. So it's tough,
yeah.
yeah. We get a lot of requests. Also had a request today from a Fayston resident who wants to be buried on his property. I think you talked to him, Maddie. And we've had this before as well. And I told him, and I hope it's correct, because it was true last time this came up, you guys have to go out there and do an environmental study of the property.
I think zoning has to, right?
Zoning, yeah, he's got to meet I believe he's just got to meet the setbacks.
Yeah, I
like
think
any-
There's
I
an-
think
You need a
it's-
state
I don't
permit
think-
too.
the state has guidelines for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unlike zoning, he's got to be a certain distance back from any stream.
Right, that's it.
And
So
the
I told-
state needs to approve it, it needs to be marked in
Yeah,
a.
the big issue
Oh,
is
it's
there
so
really needs
state.
to be, in essence, a right-of-way. In other words, it's legally established,
Oh,
so that you don't want to build your garage over that burial
Setbacks.
site.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't tell him all of this, and I thought it
Oh,
was
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was
that's,
you guys,
that's
but
it.
it's actually the state who
The
has
state,
to.
yeah.
I'll speak to him.
It could be
Okay.
both, yeah.
A little of both, right, a little of both, because it has to be zoning and state. So it is a little bit-
Okay, and then I also told him he had to disclose this when his heirs sell the property, it has to be disclosed. I think that's true too. I don't think, but, anyhow, I'll speak to him and amend that, but okay.
So we've got the 3 cemeteries.
Yes,
Center Fayston is full, not a lot of lots left in North Fayston.
oh, there are plenty of lots
Oh,
left.
there are?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
but nobody seems to be interested.
They're
in
all
them.
going to Bragg Hill,
yeah.
yeah.
It's the premier spot.
It's hot real
It's
estate.
where the view is.
With a view.
With the view,
Apparently,
yes.
we have a view. Yes. But as I say, we have burials in all 3 of them, but to date, there are a lot of families that have a lot of relatives in North Fayston. I had a guy inquire, but nothing's come of it, so. We charge the same fees for all the cemeteries,
Okay.
with or without a view. Right. I think Dave's plan, as he says, he's old school, and so am I think, but is to have this money grow so that when we stop having lots to sell that people want to buy, that the interest and dividends from the investments would cover our minimal maintenance expenses for the year. That's why everybody says, oh, you have all this money. I have this, there's a gentleman who wants me to do all kinds of things. And he says, but you have all this money. It's listed in the town report. I said, yes. So why don't you take $20,000, $30,000 of that and do this repair I would like, or that repair I would like? So Another thing we need, possibly, and we're debating this, especially if we sell a lot, there is a section of our cemetery, South Fayston Section A, which, and it's come to my attention, is often used as a parking lot. So nobody has bought a lot there, so, but the minute, that's the section, it's right when you come up the road and you make the turn, there's a section that was surveyed for cremation lots only.
Oh, behind
the old
Oh,
cemetery.
yes.
Behind the old cemetery.
Behind the
Yeah.
old
So when you
cemetery.
make the right.
You make the
right-hand
turn, right,
it's
Oh,
right
and
there.
then it's
Yeah.
right there.
Yes, I've parked there.
Yes, I know. But actually,
But there's no view.
and it's fine because there's nobody buried there, but the minute, that's the area I'm thinking of for natural burials. If, the minute anybody buys a lot there, we would have to put a fence up.
Yep.
And we were thinking about putting one up anyway, but it has come to my attention, when people have big funerals up there, they do use it for parking as well as our local walkers. It's, sometimes kind of, so I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
Well, the cemetery is nice for the 4th of July fireworks.
Oh, well,
You go up
that's
there and you get a good view.
right. So, but we're doing fine, but we just don't have a lot of money for, if we're going to not spend that. Now, Zelda told me I couldn't touch any of that money, ever. Now, I realize that I can only spend the interest from the perpetual care account. That's a given, that's the law. This other account, which, by the way, nobody has a clue where it came from.
Yeah. We don't
We've
know all the
asked,
money
we've asked
generated.
over
I've
and
done a
over.
ton of research to try and figure it out, and
No,
nothing.
My view is, maybe years ago when they bought when they bought the land from the Vassars, they had fundraisers and they had excess and they started this fund zillion years ago, but I have no idea. It's very useful. But Zelda said it couldn't be touched. Now, that's not my view. Certainly, I think the interest and dividends from that account could be touched, and I think possibly the whole thing, but I'm not about to do
Well,
that.
yeah, the state just says the perpetual care fund has to,
Oh, that's signed and sealed in blood, yeah,
so.
so.
So the big thing, I'd be happy to have a line item for tree removal in the North Fayston.
I don't know, if that's something we want to consider in our budgeting?
I don't know.
We don't have a line item for that right now, no.
It almost seems like it should be a reserve, if you don't have a plan, but I don't know. Reserves have to be voted in by the
Yeah,
town,
you'd have
right?
to create it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that probably is not, I don't know, I'm just thinking about, normally when we have a line item, we have a number that we're working against, like what the ask is, right? Like the Conservation Commission.
We were just talking about that, yeah, for additional line item for town meeting for this coming year.
For the reserve, you mean?
For the reserve.
Yeah, so because we had talked about that, the fund balance and how it's been used in the past and how it needs to be
Right.
a little bit more.
Which I want another explanation.
Yeah, so we are gonna have to go through that to set up a reserve account for the fund balance. So we're gonna do that already.
As
and have to create-
a vote.
Yes,
Right, by the town.
when you create a fund balance, you have to have the town vote on it. Or when you create a reserve account,
Reserve, yeah.
the town has to vote on it, the creation of it. And then they vote for that first year, they vote on funding it. You don't put it in your budget for the first year. The town has to then vote after it's created, how much to fund it. So would it be the same steps if you chose to go that road
Right.
for the cemetery commission?
Yeah.
And you would say, we're supporting setting up this reserve, and we're supporting funding it by X number of dollars.
And then it doesn't get voted on again.
It doesn't get voted on again, but then in future years, it's your decision to fund it as part of the reserve.
Yeah.
In this same process we go through.
It would make more sense if we were to do it that way versus an operations budget. I mean, they have their own operating budget.
Right, and they just need funds to do capital improvements, say,
Capital
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just a thought, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because we have the cleaning, that would be a huge, Moortown had a bid out to get all of their graves cleaned. I can't imagine what that was gonna cost them, but the commission wasn't gonna pay for that. But then we also have some really old Revolutionary War graves that are on the ground.
And they're probably tender.
Pardon?
They're probably tender too. I mean, even a pressure washer could do.
Oh, we have to be very, and
Yeah.
depending on which stone, what kind of stone the grave's made out of, is different solutions have to be used. It's not easy,
Yeah,
really.
my thought on this is that if I can put enough stuff together next summer and do a trial on some stones, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe we can get summertime, maybe get some of the high school kids for or the Eagle Scouts or somebody for a project to help do the cleaning.
But we'd have to decide which graves.
Well, we have to make sure it works before we,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we're talking
no
high
harm.
school kids, we're talking older
Yeah,
people.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because theoretically, the stones are the responsibility of the family. But of course, some of these graves are very, very old, and there's
Yeah.
nobody, to do that, so.
Okay, any other questions? Ron, do you have a mic? Any questions?
Are you totally confused by
Right.
what we do?
No, he has a pretty good idea.
No, I think we understand it
Right.
somewhat.
Right, right.
No, that's the kind of information we were looking for too, so.
Okay.
So thank you for that, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
We didn't know what you.
No, we had no idea.
No.
Well, I just think that when we send the road crew out to do things, we're taking it out of the road crew budget.
Yes,
Not
yeah.
the town office or anybody else. It comes out of their gravel or their labor, or, whatever we're doing. So I think we need to account for it if that's what we're doing.
Right. Well, maybe we won't have a big problem with it, but who knows? But obviously, we have to have access. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is digitizing the records. I mean, that could be
What's
an
that?
expensive
Oh,
proposition.
yeah.
Just
Not only
baby
digitizing
steps.
the records, I'd like to get the map or the layouts digitized. But, I mean, it's a process that has to be worked through.
David Frank got a price per tree, or was it per day for here?
Per day.
Oh, I don't think it was per tree.
I thought it was per day.
It was
Yeah.
per day, and he thought he could do so many trees a day, or
Yeah.
in a crane. Just curious.
Sorry.
I don't know how you do it.
And that was Whitney we had to do that, right?
It wasn't Whitney.
Who is that?
that's right. Yes.
So David Frank,
Do you have it on your
town
desk? It's in
citizen,
here somewhere.
Okay, I've heard the name, I
he,
don't know anything.
out of his nicety, he takes care of the town hall and stuff like that there, and he gets bids together to re-roof it and does some general maintenance stuff, and he's noticed that we have some big trees around here where if they fell, they would cause damage to the building, so we're just
Right.
thinking about how we can be proactive, and he had it was Forest Tree Service, I think, is what he got the number from.
Yep.
Yeah, with a crane, it was 4,000 a day. And then, I'm assuming without the crane is 2,800. So
And
it's
does
push
it say
per
how
day.
many trees he could do a day?
18 to 24 trees, 3 days.
Oh,
Yeah, what I wasn't clear on that was whether or not it was, because it was 3 days of work, 1 or 2 days with the crane, and I'm guessing the day without the crane was the cleanup work, was sort of the way I
But then-
understood it.
I think
But
it's
then
a-
also
I think
like
it's a mix.
the
Cut push per days.
town truck would be on site for like chips and cleaning stuff up as well. So that's with the help of road crew as well,
Anyway,
which are
so we probably have some idea. And when we talk about doing that, we weren't talking probably about all 1 year. We're
Yeah,
sort
we
of
don't know how many
selectively-
trees.
Well, there are, in North Fayston, amongst the burials, there's 10 trees. Most of them are dead or in bad shape.
I was just trying to think of the magnitude, you know.
Well, the $4,000 with a crane for a day,
That's per day for the crane, yes.
with the crane.
with the crane or for the crane?
No,
With
with
work
the crane.
Yeah.
labor and crane.
Yeah, I'm thinking they would do that in 2 days easily. I mean, I don't know, but that would be my guess.
And that was, he identified how many trees? 20?
18 to 24.
18, yeah. So-
That you have here, that
Yeah.
to come
Yeah,
down?
potential.
Okay.
And then there was extra cost for the cleanup work and,
Yeah, that's
That kind of
yet, yet another issue.
yeah.
He's not including that in the $4,000.
No,
No.
so there was another 2,800
Okay.
per day for cutting, pushing, leaf slash, that kind of stuff.
With the help of road crew though.
With the, yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
more than $2,800 really.
yeah.
And Josh hasn't agreed to that yet.
Doesn't know about it yet.
So 6,800
Plus,
and more would
Well,
be
10,
the cost.
10 grand is what I was guessing.
Yeah, you probably,
I mean, I have no clue, but
you're probably close, yeah.
plus, this is a burial ground, so you can't just whack out, I mean, you have to be careful.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you probably gotta grind the stumps, you can't just.
wouldn't be
no?
too concerned about the stumps.
No,
Just
but
get rid of the trees.
Yeah,
the falling timber on graves would
Mhm.
cause a lot of damage. if you weren't
Yeah, the
very
stump grinding I wouldn't be concerned about.
careful.
the other thing too is liability for us. I mean, if anything
Well,
happened with those dead trees up there, that,
You know, that is an issue. I don't know, well, the liability is really, unless somebody's standing under it,
yeah,
it's gonna be just whatever damage is done to the headstones.
yeah.
But if somebody,
We have funeral or something.
there's always that possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
That's another
Yeah, but
interesting,
wouldn't that fall under the contractor's liability? You know, they
When
have to
he's
take it
cutting
down
the-
without damaging the property.
when we're cutting the tree, I think you're right, but if it just falls,
Yeah.
Before we
Without
cut
having-
the trees.
Somebody's having a burial there and the trees come down, you know.
So, the other issue is, what is your liability insurance cover with respect to, because we're not paying for any insurance.
I'd have to-
Well,
Municipality's not liable.
yeah, the municipality's not liable, right?
No, we
For
have a
any
waiver from
accidents
that.
on the road or anything like that, you know, most of it's,
Okay, I mean,
I
that's a
think, I don't,
nice answer. I
Yeah.
just, as we're talking about liability, I just all of a sudden wondered, what is is there any
Well,
liability?
I would think we would be under your, whatever your non-liability clause. I mean, certainly we don't own
I'd
the
have to
cemetery.
look.
I
I
wouldn't know.
assume that the cemeteries are listed in there. I honestly don't know, but
I
I'm
mean, I
happy to
don't know.
look and
Yeah.
see what it's covered.
Yeah, it'd be interesting
Because
to know
the
that.
difference would be.
are they town property?
Yeah,
Yes.
So probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
guess.
yeah, so I assume they're listed. They would have to be specifically listed. I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Right.
Right.
I can, happy to double check.
No, but we don't list out every road.
Right. It's
But
town
there's no
property.
structures on roads, which, you know, if a tree fell on.
But there are
some-
trees.
Right, but if
So if
there,
a tree fell on a road anywhere and hit a car, the town wouldn't be liable for it.
that's true. but
Unless it was gross negligence, like we knew the tree was dead, and it was just about to fall, we ignored it. As long as it fell from a storm or natural causes,
Yeah.
I think we're covered by it is not having any liability. But we should run that by VLCT.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take a look and
yeah.
see.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, well, thank you
All right. Well,
again
thank you
for
very
coming
much.
in.
That's a
Very
start.
And it was very helpful information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
Next time, just let us know exactly what you want, but it's, yeah, it's very good, I think, to communicate.
Yes, we
Yes.
should do this annually, I mean, just to get an update during our budget time and
Of course,
hear from you what's going
well,
on.
as
and-
you well know, as years go by, you're not going to be able to find people to do this. What you're doing or what we're doing on a volunteer basis, that's another huge problem down the road, I think. But-
I know, I saw the letter you sent about what they're paying in California.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was waiting for that. I was waiting.
Is it 130K?
You mentioned
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
The cemetery commissioner.
right, yeah.
We would have an easier time getting the commissioner.
Yeah, he might be commission, right?
You would.
We're gonna need more than a capital reserve.
Retirement plan.
Right, health insurance, you know.
I'll give up my $1,000.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Candace, thank you, Dave.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so item item is to finalize the capital budget. And the item right after that is the donations. I don't know if we want to do that
Before I
tonight.
forget, do you think it's possible just to find out what other towns do? Yeah, because I mean, I'm not just saying we do that, I just want to see.
You want to know now?
No,
Okay.
no.
What other towns are doing what?
Are funding the cemetery.
Oh, yeah,
Just curious what the magnitude is.
yeah, it would be interesting because, I mean, we could request a vote this year for setting up a line item and I don't know, we wouldn't have to fund it, right?
But
initially?
you wouldn't have to decide tonight how much to fund it.
Right,
You'd kind of want to get a sense now if you wanted to set up the account for the capital reserve hearing. So you'd want to list it as a potentially new capital reserve.
Or we could line item it for 1 year and vote on it at town meeting.
vote on the budget
Yeah.
amount the next year, right?
The only issue with that, we're kind of treating it opposite of what we're doing with the Conservation Commission. It's not, that capital projects aren't long-term or large. I mean, they're gonna come up year to year, like, you're gonna do this, the headstone clean now and have to do it again in 30 years. You'll take the trees out in the next year and never have to do it again, because we don't have any growing within the yards. So it does seem to fall more as a year-specific budget item that we need to fund and not create a fund that is going to become like a perpetual slush fund that they take money out of for different projects that aren't defined.
I see that,
Like the FCC.
right, because it's not like a fund that we have control of, not that I want to be controlling, but we're controlling the town's money by putting it into that reserve. So I could live with that.
Yeah, so what are we saying? We put it into the
Like
operating?
You're talking about a line item, right, rather than a reserve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and it's so much easier to explain. This is a line item, we need to take the dead trees out. We're paying for it. We're not gonna set up a reserve with an unknown amount for whatever.
So having said that, do we want to fund something this year or we want to wait?
I think we're gonna have another budget meeting, right?
Yes.
Or two.
Yeah, we need
I think
to-
I'd
at
just
least
like to
one.
see what the other towns do. I mean,
That's a good idea,
I'm sure they do more than what I'm thinking.
yeah, yeah.
But I think we do have to do something.
Yep.
And it is interesting where they have the perpetual care fund, which I was sure you can't touch the principal, right? That's
Yeah.
a state. But how big is the other fund?
I can run and find out. I've forgotten.
They're about equal.
It's substantial.
Yeah, it's
And-
in the 100,000s.
And I've gone back, because this came up, I don't remember, maybe when Candace came on, and I did,
So maybe what we could do for the next meeting is get the town information together and their numbers.
sure,
I wouldn't care if it was just last year's town report.
sure.
We don't
Yeah.
need anything that's
I
today.
get, the town, we get the statements,
Oh,
the
you do?
Edward Jones, so
Oh,
I
okay.
know, yeah.
All right.
Yep, I can do
Are you
that.
good with that, Mike?
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
to look at it and
Yeah.
see what we think, and I think it also, when we get to the bottom of this budget, and we start really filling in all the numbers, we'll see what the bottom line is.
What we can do and can't do.
Yeah, exactly. All right, speaking of that, we want to jump right to the reserve budget here.
The stuff spread out all over this one, Chuck.
Thank you.
So we're looking at the things in yellow, right?
Well, specifically the reserves on the fourth page, and then you guys can decide how much you want to spend. Well, the Waitsfield Road work, you guys agreed, yes, last night,
Yep,
3%. So that's in there as 12,875, which is
Yeah.
the 3% increase.
Mike, just so you know, we agreed to the 3% with Waitsfield
Yeah.
last night. So we took a vote on that, and so we're good to go on that.
And then it's right to the last page.
Right to the last page. So donations, we can come back to if we decide we want to do that, so we just need to fill in the rest of the capital budget. All right, so the ones that are filled in, Sarah, like the road retreatment,
Yep, so you guys decided
we
on.
did that.
Yep, you decided with, when Josh was here, there were a few that weren't addressed. The bridge, you guys didn't address the road construction.
Yeah,
And then there were, because of the hauling and how much material, and then you guys had some back and forth by email.
yeah.
Whether,
And then I don't know how you guys want to handle the fire equipment reserve, since we weren't presented with a budget.
Yeah, that was a little different, you know, but I remember last year, Mike couldn't make it, and I went to the budget meeting with Christine Parisi,
Yeah,
Yes.
and
yeah.
it was Tripp, but that was his last year. And then we had the
yeah.
joint meeting.
And so they flipped it
So
this
now
year.
it's like, yeah, we're not, and did you actually help with the budget yet this year, Mike, with the fire department?
No, I haven't. I gotta reach out to Craig Snell and get with him and get that that spreadsheet that we made for them updated.
And it sounded from last night's meeting that they're meeting on the 15th or 16th to have their first budget
So we'll
meeting
have-
with the
we'll
fire
have time.
department.
With Waitsfield, right? Waitsfield with the fire department.
Waitsfield with the fire
Yes,
department.
yeah.
But you guys can't wait for that to decide how to fund the
Not the
reserve.
reserve.
Not the reserve.
But- right.
The line item, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I
Not the
think that
reserve.
they said they'd have it before the end of the year.
Right.
Right, but what I didn't hear last night was anything about how, all their wish list, that, I didn't hear whether or not that was coming for work they wanted to do next year, or if it was down the road.
So now that we're talking about it, so it almost seems like, you know, we're gonna be splitting this 60-40 forever, right? Why wouldn't we have the same, why wouldn't we have the same proportionate reserves? Because we really should, we need a master plan, right? If their reserve is smaller than ours, you
Yeah,
know,
well, I guess, I mean, it's up to them if they want to
Yeah.
fund the reserve more
Yeah.
No,
than
I
their
know.
60%.
I
That's-
know, but it seems like, you know, there should be a plan.
There should be a plan, and that's what, it sounds like
Yeah,
there is a
and
plan.
that's why we got to the place we're kind of at, because there was no plan. And, you know, they would want to buy a new fire engine, and it would come up on a single year line item for $600,000. And there's no way Fayston can deal with that type of fluctuation. So that's why we really got involved and said, you know, we need to find out what we need to be putting aside 10 years before you need it. And so we have to figure out, you know, what's the replacement schedule? And that was the first time that was done with them. So in the past, you know, Waitsfield hadn't planned that way. We as a board had planned that way for the majority of other things we did. And we kind of forced that upon that item. And I think we should continue to do that, because otherwise, you know what I mean, our taxes would ride crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's such a huge proportion of our total budget if, you know, we're gonna fund a pumper in 1 year or a ladder or something like that.
So right now, your fire equipment reserve budget is just over 340,000. It looks like in 2027 for E6, or their replacement for E5, whatever it's gonna be, is supposed to be around 270,000. So you've got enough to cover that.
Yeah, so what's it was what, they're saying 600?
600, there was some discussion last year about it, because of the extra crew cab, it was gonna be around 675,000. Last night, they sort of said it was coming in around 600,000.
Right, it was
Yeah.
580 and they expect to have an increase or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So there's enough in the
Yeah.
reserve to cover it.
right.
Well, but they're also gonna have to do all of the air packs between this year and next.
And they didn't
Yeah.
And that was
mention a
like
price.
60,000?
What's that?
What was the number thrown out last night?
Oh, that was a lot. That
It
was,
was like 45 or 60,000.
oh, I didn't write that down, but
It was a big number.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
150,000 to replace.
That
Oh,
sounds,
100.
yeah,
It says, they said
yeah,
there
it's
was,
like
they were on
60
a,
that we owe.
yeah, they were on
Yeah.
a 15-year replacement schedule, and they sounded like they started it 6 or 7 years ago, so I wasn't clear on when they had to be replaced.
That might have been what I did.
No, that's when we started putting money aside for it. So that's the first years that we got involved in saying that you need to put money away now so that we can pay for this when they all need to go in 2027.
Okay, so they have to be,
That's the 60 I came up with, because I remember pulling out my phone and taking the number they said and multiplying times. So it's 150 times 40%, which is 60 grand.
so there's
60 grand,
almost
yeah.
Yeah.
270. So there's almost enough in the reserve to cover the new engine and the air packs.
Right.
And then beyond not knowing what's coming otherwise coming down the road.
So,
Well, there's enough. I mean,
There's another truck replacement.
yeah,
Yeah, there's another truck
Eventually.
replacement.
Yeah.
yeah.
the
So,
three-
Mike, you're gonna talk to Craig. I
Yeah.
asked last night when they said they were meeting on the 15th, I think it was the 15th,
Something
right?
like
That
that, yeah.
we needed numbers before the end of the year, and they said they'd be able to do that. So maybe on this item, I mean, we feel comfortable we got enough to cover the short-term expenses, but at our next budget meeting in January, put the final number to this one.
So you can do that for the line item 5380, you can wait for that. If you guys want to fund the reserve anymore, you need to decide that tonight,
Why would we need to tonight?
because Maddie has to warn
Because
the
we have to
capital
put that in.
hearing. So you
Warn
have,
it,
you
and
have to
then,
finalize the capital
yeah.
budget tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mike, the way I look at it, we have 342,000 in the fund right now. And between the
Yep.
air packs and the truck, we're gonna spend 300, so that leaves us like 42,000. And we put 75,000 in the last couple of years. So,
Right.
okay, so we're gonna have 42 and 75, say we did it the same again, that's 117,000 at the end of
Yep.
this budget. Does that sound like on track?
Well, that would be on track with the last update to that spreadsheet, which is now 3 years old. So, at a base minimum, I would inflate the 75 by at least 3 to 6%. Just for inflation.
So say we're talking 78,000.
Yeah.
So listen, what I'm
And
trying
I think that's fine because, there's not a big expense coming out next year. So we have another budget and capital reserve cycle before we have to
These payments.
outlay large sums of money.
So one of the other things we talked about last night, Mike, was the building. Like, we're always reserving for equipment and trucks and stuff, but the building needs probably some help. And so we have to
Yep.
start thinking about our reserve being big enough to handle some of those, like a heat system, whatever.
Plumbing.
Yeah, and then part of that spreadsheet for their costs, for their ongoing capital costs, is money set aside for the building, although it's minimal.
Yeah, I think they said 65,000 was
So
what
I
they
think
had.
that is somewhere we probably need to focus more on because it's just gotten later down the line. It's been
Right.
kicked down the block a bit,
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to work toward is what's left in the. We got 294 left, right, compared to last year?
Yes, but you haven't funded some big ones like,
Yeah, so that's what I'm,
yeah.
So Mike, you're thinking 78 as
Yeah.
a number for this year, and we got a couple, like you're saying, we've got a couple of years to reassess and recover. The big chunk of dough is gonna come out in 2027. So we got a couple of cycles more that if we have to bump up that 78,000 next year or the year after, we got time to do it.
Yep.
Ron, is that,
yeah,
right.
I'm just looking at something else here, sorry, Chuck.
yeah,
that was, you just, yeah, I'm good with that.
So we'll go with 78 for that one.
Yep.
Bridge transfer. We've got 320,000.
Let me just, I just did some math here. If we take the 78 in the fire department, you want to check me, Sarah?
Yep.
And then we level fund the bridge reserve and the road construction, which we should talk about, we're still $21,000 less than last year. Doesn't seem right, but it is.
I don't think it's,
What?
I come up with just level funding the bridge and not even including road construction at level funded.
Right, which I don't know if we should, but.
That's not
Yeah,
good.
because we bumped up the equipment transfer,
Plus 150.
and we added to the reappraisal reserve.
So let's see where we went down.
I get five,
Well,
I
we
get
didn't
567.
do the town reserve.
Right, the forest reserve.
I get 567,000.
Okay.
Because we bumped up equipment by 50,000.
I just took the 290, oh, no, I'm doing something different, never mind. That was variance. Never mind.
Because your equipment alone
yeah,
is 50,000
Went up
over last
50,000.
year.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I was thinking of leaving the bridge alone, or leaving it still funded, which we could change. What did we say the two were gonna cost us, 1.2
For
the bridges?
1.5 they're up to now,
Are they?
1.5 each,
no.
right?
Yeah,
Is it?
after that's what it's earmarked for.
Yeah. But this bridge
So
reserve.
they could cost us 225,000.
For our portion of
Per
that.
bridge.
No, total.
Oh,
7.5%, right?
Yes. Yes.
You check it, but I think, so we could lighten up on that. But,
Yeah, I think the only other thing, we put money in there for, if we ever did anything
right,
with
that's
this
what I was
bridge here.
thinking, but,
Yeah, so that cost that you just figured out is over and above what we had always anticipated this bridge reserve to be for. So I don't know.
I mean, it's just shy, I mean, it's not shy, 50,000 shy of what we,
What was the number you came up with, Ron, for our portion of the
225.
225?
Is that right?
Yeah, so it leaves in the neighborhood of 100,000 in the reserve.
Yeah, and if we ever do anything with this bridge, we're gonna be on the hook for,
More than 7.
yeah.
0.5%.
Yeah,
At this
exactly.
point, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
yeah, but basically, that has always been the argument of the only way that that bridge is getting replaced is if V-Trans is giving us a grant for it.
Right,
Yeah, but we'd still have to pay a small portion of that, right?
Right, so we'd probably be in that, 2 to 400,000
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah.
so we probably should fund that.
We should probably fund it. We could probably knock it down to 100.
Yeah, because we'd have some recovery time if we hear from the state they are gonna do this bridge out here,
Yeah,
then,
it's gonna take a year or two to get it rolling anyway.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
So make that 100,
I'm just trying to think.
and road construction. We don't have a lot of money in there, 33,000.
I did have Maddie do our to-do list, and I just wanna say that on our to-do list is still,
It's never ending.
well, no, it's
Not
pretty
very
good.
short.
No, we've done very good on it.
That's for 2025.
Is, Long-term solution for mud on Tucker Hill Road.
There's a lot
Number
more-
9.
There's a lot more
What?
culverts on there now, though.
Number 9,
What's that?
I mean, I don't know, hopefully Tucker Hill's
Yeah.
better this year. Because they put bigger culverts at the top.
Yeah.
Don't laugh, Mike.
Yeah, I
And
don't,
then number
I mean, I think, so the only, I'm not saying we necessarily funded, but we did make this commitment that we would consider it, and so we gotta be ready in the
Oh,
spring.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. And you know that,
No, I do, but there's two, I mean, those two projects are both significant.
What,
Number 9 is gonna be
right,
pretty pricey.
yep,
Tucker Hill's gonna be pretty pricey. So I don't see how we go down all that much in that number. It is good that we have a bunch of the culverts in this year's budget, so we won't have that cost next year, but we just have a lot of dirt and gravel work to do that is gonna create expense.
oh, which is another thing, on the road, I think what we did with the McCain bill is put it under the reserve, right?
correct.
As far as gravel pit work. What I think we need to know is what else also we're gonna spend on that gravel pit, for the analysis. What's left?
This is probably 15 to 18,000,
Does that include, who would do the calculations?
an
McCain?
engineer.
What?
Yeah, and he could do it.
Yeah, and,
Or other folks could, because it's probably gonna be above our bid cap,
At 15 to
so it's probably gonna go out. And, they can use the base that McCain made and the LiDAR that he has already developed. And, with citing historical borings and borings we do, then they can do the calculations of what volume of usable materials left.
so if we've got about 18,000 left to spend, I don't think we need to create a separate line item for,
no, I was just
No,
wanted
for
to bring
budgeting.
it up and,
So just something to think about, this year, $80,000 was used out of that road construction reserve. Of that $80,000, $50,000 was hauling,
just
Yeah.
Just the
not
hauling.
the gravel, the hauling.
Just the
Yeah, we
hauling.
gotta stop that.
Yeah.
So that's what I wasn't,
We're gonna have to create a new gravel source then. It is gonna eventually run out, Hopefully, from those maps his LiDAR maps that he provided, I'm kind of hopeful, kind of how that topography is set up, that there might be some significant sources still uphill from that. So, with fingers crossed, it'd be great to go up there and understand if we can get back into better material.
So, when I said we gotta stop that, I wasn't joking. I think we gotta haul ourselves. I mean, if we're gonna, that much gravel, I mean, we got 4 guys now.
Yeah.
We got some labor, cause that's expensive, 60 grand.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's a person for us, right? We already have the trucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, and, we should talk to Josh about it when the time comes.
So what are you thinking on that?
So we went for 100 on the bridge, right? Is that correct?
yes.
Um, The road retreatment is paving, right?
Yep.
So if we put 45 in,
Our new pavement on German Flats got messed up today, Mike.
Yeah, I heard.
insurance cover that? Their insurance?
We're gonna find out.
Their insurance would cover that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. They have no one to clean it up.
It's too bad it didn't happen on the other hill, on the other side, that's all deteriorated. We could have repaved that.
Yeah, that's right. Or blowing up in the explosion.
So, So that'll, if we put 45 in, that'll be 78, and how much did we spend this year?
Sorry, you're talking
80.
road retreatment?
Yeah, no, on the
Construction.
road construction, the gravel.
80,
80.
50 of
We
which
won't
was
even be
hauling.
at the level that we spent this year.
It's true. Yeah. The road construction reserve is lower than it's been, I believe, in a little while.
So
Right
did
now.
Josh throw out a number this, when he came in here?
I don't remember.
No.
I don't know that you guys talked specifically.
We-
You
we-
did
I
talk
thought we
about.
did.
We talked about
So
like
there
how
was,
much,
Josh called to tell me McCullough won't crush less than 8,000 yards. We were budgeting for 10. I think we should go with 10 in the budget and budget another 40 to 50 in the reserve fund. 45 to 50.
So if we stick at 45,
And then Mike suggested that you go with 8 with McCullough, buy 2 of the granite mix to add in for the major roads. Tucker, Bragg, German Flats.
But-
And Josh responded that that changed the total amount.
I didn't see that response.
I wonder if
If
that
I
was
missed
a
that. Different.
message that he sent to me. Because I asked him if he was good with Mike's calculation. He said yes, but then he revised the dollar amount.
For McCullough or for
because
the
it was, yeah,
reserve?
So
there's
we'd
more money to buy the gravel full than, like,
Buy the gravel from McCullough or haul it in?
buy the gravel from McCullough. It's cheaper for them to, like, or whatever.
Usually
Josh was
what
saying
you-
like the
yeah.
2,000.
So that would come out of our reserve. So we need to budget for that in the reserve if you want them to get.
Like it would cost more
2,000
for
yards.
2,000 yards, obviously, for it to meet.
Yeah, I don't remember what that dollar amount was, and I don't have it on here.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I thought we talked about mixing stuff in our pit with the granite.
Right, but that's what they're saying, if we have to buy 2,000 yards to mix in with the new, or with the stuff that they crush, it's gonna cost more to buy the 2,000 yards from McCullough than for them to crush 2,000 more here.
But our gravel isn't that great here.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
part.
Just like, right, we're saying just like for money wise,
Yeah.
the numbers were gonna be.
So the 8,000 from McCullough and the buying the 2,000 granite adds up to what?
So those are just, they are unfortunately two separate things. That we have a line item in the budget for the crushing.
Right,
Purchasing it comes out of the reserve.
right.
So
Right.
I don't know, so you don't want to add them together because they go into separate places in the budget or come out of separate places in the budget.
So crushing the 8,000 yards is how much?
Josh just called to tell me McCullough won't crush less than 8,000. We were budgeting for 10K. I think we should go with 10K in the budget and budget another 45 to 50K in the reserve fund. I'm not sure if that reflects
Was
how
after.
much Josh thinks the 8K would be.
Was that in response to Mike's email?
November 6th. No, Mike then came back and said, I think we should
Right.
go with 8
Right.
from McCullough, and I don't know how much that cost, the 8 from McCullough, what the estimated cost was.
Yeah,
And 2 to purchase, to mix with our pit.
I know he changed the price on that too. And it was more than he initially estimated.
Yeah, it was probably not by email, because he's not on this email, so it
and I-
either was by conversation or by text.
Yeah, I thought it was by text, but I don't see it here. Let me look one more place.
Just at the end of the year, over the last few years, the road construction reserve has ended over 100,000. So,
The reserve?
yeah,
At the end of the
at the end of the year, it's still over 100,000, and this year it's at 33.
At the meeting, Josh had said, if we plan to have McCullough come and crush 10,000 yards, it's $8 a yard. so.
So if we did 8,000 at $8 a yard,
64,000.
yeah, 64, but then you're gonna add
And
the
then
cost of the 2,000.
Said it's over $18.50 a yard plus
Hauling.
hauling to get material that we used for North Fayston Road.
Okay, you gotta help me. The
64,000.
granite that we would buy is in what line item?
That would come out of the 8006.
And the crushed gravel comes out of where?
The,
McCullough crushing.
It comes out of, well, it depends, because it comes out of the sand, which is 5075,
Okay.
or, again, the 8006.
Okay, so
So if this is
sand.
all talking about gravel, is it 8,000 yards of gravel, is that what they're talking about, or sand?
Gravel.
So it's 64,000 for gravel, would be 8006.
Yeah,
And then the other material, 2,000 yards of that, and I don't remember what the price per yard was of that.
18 something?
Over
1850.
1850?
Isn't that kind of the same part of the budget?
Yes.
Yes.
That does.
Yeah, that's what I was adding.
I think she's
Yeah.
confused about sand. I think she was
Okay.
thinking about crushing of
Crushing
sand.
sand, okay, yeah.
So, oh, you're working on a new total?
So just for 10,000 yards, it's 82,500.
Okay. That sounds about what the number that I,
So at 45,000, we'd only have 78 in there and we'd be down to 0.
yeah,
Or negative.
yeah, so we gotta bump that up. So 49,000. would
So
just
right
break
now,
us
if,
even.
if we level funded it, what did I come up with?
You
Mhm.
probably,
517 versus 511 last year, is that right?
level funded all of the
Well,
reserves?
no, if we go to 78,
For the fire,
yeah, for
and
the.
then how much you were suggesting for
And
road,
then 100 for the fire,
Bridge.
for the bridge?
for the
For
bridge.
the bridge.
And 45 are, just keeping that level. I come up with 517, is that right?
Yeah, but I
So-
don't know if that's gonna be enough for the.
No, I don't think so, but it's
Yeah.
only 6,000 over.
Yeah. I mean, we're 49,000, if the estimates are correct, we're 49,000 short just to end with a balance of 0 in that account. And I don't know that we wanna do that either. I think we gotta bump that up.
I don't know the floods on Bucket Hill, the rain, what time of year?
So what do we say that 10,000 yards are gonna cost again? The 10,000 yards, the 8,000 crushed and the 2,000 granite, what was that?
82,000.
82. That's what I
If
thought.
we, right, trucked in or use the other gravel too.
So that's 50 just to break even, and then
Yeah.
we wouldn't have anything left in the reserve.
Yeah.
It's almost like it needs to be 100.
And if there was any weather event,
What?
if there was any kind of weather event,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost think it's gotta be 100.
yeah. I don't think we can take a chance to let it dry up like, if we go much closer
Right.
to that 45.
Where do we usually get culverts out of?
culvert reserve.
What?
Culvert
Culvert.
reserve, and he
Reserve.
just stockpiled because of that 30,000.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you guys didn't put a whole lot in culvert.
Oh, you cut it.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
got a 325, oh,
Yeah, you have to put at least 325 in there to
yeah.
put that to 0.
So Mike, what do you think, 100?
I think 100's
I think,
pretty drastic.
yeah, I think to be safe, we go.
You know, 80. So we're down to a balance of probably 20.
So is this what did we spend this year, Sarah, 80,000 roughly? So is that a yearly event, 80,000?
No,
Well, we're putting,
No,
we're
no,
talking
no.
about another 80,000 next year.
yeah, I'm not, so not knowing what the roads are, I don't,
No, I'm not, I know,
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm just saying, you know, we're looking at 80,000 again next year, right? That's what we just talked about.
I just think that because we haven't gotten gravel for so long is the problem, and then like trucking it in last year. is-
Wasn't some of that used for FEMA too? We trucked in?
not the,
That's
not,
separate?
yeah,
Okay.
separate.
Yeah,
I think we're boxing Mike out.
Oh,
I'm just asking, we spent it this past year, this past summer, and then we're budgeting to spend it again next summer. Are we stockpiling or are we using it? Sounded like we're using it.
It sounds like we're using it, yeah.
Well, I think it's gonna be both. I mean, I don't think unless we do both Tucker Hill and number 9 next year, I don't think we're gonna use all that material. But that's the lowest volume that McCullough's gonna come in to crush.
Right.
So is that to come in at a different time than they crush sand?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think, yeah.
yeah, because last time Josh said, you know, the last time we did 10, it lasted us like 8 years.
Well, it's got to be definitely more than 45 and less than 100.
So I just,
Mike's going for 80.
Yeah.
Go for 80, that
Yeah.
gives us a little cushion, and if it
Yeah.
lasts us that long, then,
And just fingers crossed that it'll last that
Yeah.
long, and yeah.
Yep.
All right. let's
Well,
do-
the other thing is then we have the flexibility to, if we have the time and the weather's good, to really knock out those bigger jobs.
Right.
You know, we'll have all the supplies for them.
All right, so 80,000 will be the number we will go with. I guess just a quick look at the rest of the reserve funds, and I mean, we spent a lot of time on the ones we've already determined, unless somebody has something they want to change on what we've already done. What do we have here?
You good with it, Mike?
Record restoration, we decided not to do anything there. I mean, I think the rest of it looks, nothing has changed.
no?
Mike,
Mike, you good with that?
You know, the only thing that, I mean, when the cemetery commission was in is, you know, their wishes to digitize their records. Does that follow under our responsibility of digitizing their records like we had to digitize all the other town records?
Yeah, it's a good question, I don't know. Because we've got record
when
restoration
we did
here,
it-
right? Yeah,
I mean, well, but we've done it so we have the files, like they were contemplating doing it with an outside service where if they didn't pay, they would lose their access to it, which we don't want to entertain any type of system like that.
no,
But I think that's a special digital process. I mean, it's because it changes. Like what we're digitizing here is a document that we file. And
No, I think it's their electronic records of the sale of their deeds.
Well, I think it's also the plotting.
I
the
think
plot-
it's,
the
I
plots
think
of
it's the
cemetery.
plotting that they're trying to track
Yep.
in a more efficient way. I don't, do you know if she's talking about
I
digitizing
think
their
it's
deeds?
both.
It's both.
So part of
Because
it's
memory,
easy.
I think it's, if you get the cemetery, I think it is both.
Mm.
I'm not
Oh,
100%
okay.
sure, but Karen was gonna call Nemrick to see about that.
So the digitizing of the deeds, if it's NIMRIC, we've done, the way Patty and I did it years ago is we did the scanning and did it all ourselves. Not saying that we volunteered to do that, but it is something that can be done without paying NIMRIC to digitize everything. The whole plot mapping, I don't know
Well, we
how that
could,
works.
they obviously don't have the resources, like a scanner and
No,
stuff
but
like
they
that.
could come
No,
into
but
the
they
town
could.
office.
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Because the other issue is if they do NIMRIC, that then brings up a computer issue. Because
Oh, yeah.
they need to be able to access it in the town office. NIMRIC does have a cloud system, but we're not on it. now, or I don't know that we have any plan to be, so they have to come to the town office to use it anyways.
Which isn't, if we're taking ownership of it, which we kind of are, that's the way it should be anyway.
Well, for sure,
Right.
but I'm not sure they quite understand that by digitizing,
No.
they have to come, they now have to come to the town office to do their work.
Which kind of sounds like it should kind of be happening that way.
That's,
You know, as what you mean, it's a town function.
Right, but it's coordination and maybe possibly
no,
having to, which is doable for sure, but, they gotta come into the office when there's a computer
and it's a
available.
bit of a distraction, right? I mean, it's no,
Yeah.
They
no.
just have to come to the office when there's a computer
Right.
available for them to
Thursday or
use.
Friday.
Or,
Well, if,
or a computer has to be purchased.
Thursday or Friday, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday. The key to the building.
Yeah. But I guess that would be something to think about. I don't know if it can be in,
I think we'd have to look into that because by statute, for every page that's recorded, the town has to put $4 into this reserve. It is for the preservation of our land records, so I would assume that would cover the cemetery as well.
right,
Those are land records. I don't know.
interesting, something to think about for sure.
Well, this is 14,
But if we started paying for cemetery stuff out of that, then that money would definitely dwindle faster than we're making it dwindle.
Right.
and I think it's a matter of we're just starting
Yeah.
to talk about it too. It's not like we have to
Right.
just like act on that part.
Yeah.
Because
Right, I mean,
something
we-
like their fees would have to, like, we pay the $4. I'm sure there's something that, like, from their recording. does
So
that
we
go-
don't, right now, that's true. They don't actually collect quite the correct amount for recording the
Right.
deeds.
Right.
Because that goes into their own checking account, none of that money ends up in our town reserve.
Oh.
So,
Interesting. Well, for tonight's discussion, do we want to put more money into the restoration reserve? But we don't even know if that's
So,
appropriate for them.
you mean for the cemetery?
For cemetery?
Oh, yeah, that's your decision.
I don't know that we
I think
can't-
there's a lot more research that should be done first.
Yeah.
So let me ask this.
Yes.
Do we have more digitizing or scanning to do?
So we got back to the 40-year title search. We're way past it now. So I think we're in good shape. I think a lot of the land records, really old, rough land records, Patty got up and got them restored and preserved well. So I think we're okay. What comes out of this every month is the fee for our current recording system, which is $450 a month we pay out of this reserve.
And that'll be forever?
Yes, that's the plan.
Yeah.
So
So-
we kind of break even on that because if you look at the first page of the budget,
Yep. I remember you saying this.
I lost
Record
my first
preservation.
page.
Record preservation?
Record preservation, that money I will transfer at the end of the year, that $5,373 right now, that will get transferred into the record restoration reserve.
So it
So we
kind
sorta
of
kinda
holds
break
it,
even.
holds it on, yeah.
Yeah, right now it's paying for the digital service that we use.
So I think we shouldn't necessarily fund for any of their digitizing yet. I think we just gotta figure it out
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what's involved and,
Because I think there is the logistics to figuring out if it is NIMRIC, how that's gonna work in our office and all of that.
Right.
but should we have a line item for them for some kind of work?
Well,
I mean,
so you had asked me to find out what other
Yeah.
towns did, and then to come back for the next
We'll do
meeting.
that next time, because
Yeah.
I know
Right.
that where Josh put that really big stuff in, it held up well when they had that problem, but we can't be left like that for
Right,
forever.
if we had another event,
No.
Well,
yeah,
no, I mean, it's like bony stuff like this here,
yeah,
you know, I mean,
yeah.
And like you,
But who did all the work on that like 2 weeks ago
on what?
on the cemetery road?
Oh, I didn't know there was work.
Yeah, I didn't
Someone
either.
put in drainage and stone and a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, I know,
Really?
right on,
They had an excavator and loads of
I
dump
think it
trucks
might
of
have
stone.
been Andy DeMario because Carrie Hale called and he was on the phone and was asking for cemetery stuff and he was like, well, I'm gonna go give Andy a hard time because I'm at the cemetery right now, so. I have no idea if it was,
who did it? I don't know. I know all Josh did was put the big,
well, I'm wondering
Well, yeah.
if,
Yeah,
I can find out because I wonder if, Riddell and Hobart had work done on that ditch. And because the ditch going into the new cemetery is technically theirs, I wonder if,
I know Andy does their work, so.
yeah, that's right, because,
Yeah.
yeah,
well, is that his sawmill that's up there?
I have no idea. I will find out.
Huh.
Because someone's sawmill is up on that, above where our drive turns into the upper cemetery. And my guess is they were improving it so they could utilize that and come down, because in between where Josh put the stone in and where that sawmill is, boot soft, it's, you
Right.
couldn't drive anything
In
over
the
it.
sawmill? What's he telling?
So there's a sawmill up there right now, I guess.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put the cemetery stuff off,
Yes.
Yep.
Next meeting.
for future discussion for
On
now.
On the next meeting is what I'm hearing.
Yep,
Okay, all
yep.
right.
Yeah, especially with regard to an operation budget.
Yes.
Yeah. So are we good on everything else that's in the capital reserve that we had budgeted
Yep.
tonight and prior?
Good.
Good?
So I've
Okay.
got 100,000 going into the bridge, 78,000 into fire,
Mhm.
and 80,000 going into road construction.
Correct.
So I come up with 552,000, which I
Okay.
think is ballpark around an 8% increase over last year.
How much?
Okay.
8%, just from my rough calculation.
Yeah. Okay. So that gives you what you need
It does.
for the capital budget.
Correct.
Do we want to get into donations tonight, or do we want to wait until our final meeting?
I can do, you wanna do it, Mike?
Want to do it?
Not really.
Oh,
Okay.
We still
I'm also an hour ahead of
executive
you
session.
guys.
You still have an
What's that?
executive, that's true.
It's 8 o'clock here,
Oh, is it?
And you've got an executive session.
or 7:42.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute, sorry, behind you,
Yep.
Yeah.
6:42.
I can wait. I mean,
I'm all
it's-
confused.
Yes.
Okay, let's put it off
I'm in
till-
Louisiana.
You are?
Yeah.
Indiana, didn't they win a big football game?
I think he
They
said,
beat Ohio
It
State.
said Louisiana.
wrong Indiana. He
Oh.
said Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
I heard Indiana.
Somewhere
Wait a
warmer.
minute, let me adjust
Let me turn 'em up.
The donations is being tabled
Till
To the next
budget meeting.
budget meeting.
Yeah, and so while we're doing that, one of the things we need to determine is when we want to schedule that budget meeting. So
Yeah.
how's the early part of January look for everybody?
Yeah, it kind of has to be the beginning of January,
Yep.
the
Fifth,
I'm around.
fifth or,
5th or 6th.
fifth or sixth work?
Yep.
Fifth would be better for me. I don't know how that works for you all.
It's fine with me.
The only thing is that a planning commission.
Mike, that work?
Hold on.
January?
'cause that
Okay.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
might
and
be-
it can be earlier, because I won't, we're gonna be shut down at that point.
I'm just worried is that this planning commission is the 1st or 2nd. I
Oh,
always forget, so hold on 1 second.
Yeah, because you have guests here, right? You have guests here. Till when?
leaving the second, so
Yeah, so the 5th maybe, is that what we're talking?
yeah, we're talking the fifth. If
Yep.
Maddie's just checking to see if there's a conflict.
Okay, no, that would be the 2nd, so Monday, so that's okay. The 5th would be open.
Okay, what time we want to do it?
Whatever.
Anytime's fine.
5:30?
5:30, good?
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Is that good with you? All right.
yes.
All right. We wanted to schedule employee reviews too. Is that a good week to do that?
For me, it is.
Yeah?
The only day that I would suggest you guys don't want to do it, if you want to do it in this room, is the 7th of January, because the audit will be happening and they usually take over this table.
Okay.
Do you want to split them up a little bit, and you could probably do road crew on that Monday or something, before your meeting, and then our office on the next day, or our office at a later time, or do
So
you wanna
Mike
try to?
sounds pretty flexible on the 5th, Mike, right? As far as
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
how would you look if we did road
Yeah, just-
crew reviews earlier in the afternoon, or?
I just know that they're gonna, if they start early that day, they're not gonna love us if we make them stay till too late, that's the
Yeah.
only thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we could do them earlier. No problem.
like 4 o'clock maybe?
Sure.
They give
Yeah,
us
or
an hour and a
earlier than
half.
that.
Could we could do a, well, we could do it, something on the Tuesday too, right?
Correct.
We could split it up a little bit and then, so we're not rushed and we don't wanna have to, because if we warn a budget meeting at 5:30, we should start at 5:30.
Right, I
Yes.
would warn two things. I'd probably do
Yeah.
two separate,
Right, but I'm saying we don't
Yeah.
wanna cut an employee review off short.
for sure.
But your point is well taken as well, we don't want to schedule it for 5:30, maybe 4 o'clock or something on whatever day we decide to do it, so they're not working overtime or.
Right, and then we could
That's
even
just-
do
Yeah.
another one the next day at 4,
Sure.
So you're thinking
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday at 4?
Do you think, do you
Yeah.
think, is a half hour enough to,
It's hard to tell, sometimes they go pretty quickly and,
that's what I mean, that's why I was
Yeah.
thinking if we start at 4, budget it,
yeah, so 4 o'clock both days?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I mean,
5:30
that works for
budget.
me,
Yeah,
yeah,
4 o'clock,
on the 5th and then 4 o'clock on the 6th, and we can split them up however they wanna,
and that's just road crew, so that's 2 and 2 you wanna do?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And then we'll have to schedule the rest of all of you at some point in time,
correct.
but they're the hardest to schedule, I think, then,
Right.
yeah. Okay, all right,
I mean, I don't know if it goes faster, and, Sarah and I are here, I'm sure we could,
oh,
Yeah.
squeeze you in,
sweep
okay,
it, that kind of thing.
okay, all right. Okay, so,
All right, so 4 o'clock both days.
yes,
Okay.
and,
Other business, we just need these minutes to be signed from the November 25th.
oh, don't we have to, Mike is here now, so you guys can approve,
Yep,
is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
yeah. So Mike, the November 25th minutes, which you and I were in attendance, do you have a chance to review those?
Yes, I have, and I would make a motion to approve those minutes.
And I'll second, so we're all in favor? Thank you. I will sign those. Thank you, Maddie. Okay, read the mail and sign the warrant, and then we'll need a motion to go into executive session. So I guess we'll sign the warrant here. Thank you.
you're probably good, Sarah, unless if you want to.
You guys good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you, Sarah.
Oh, one more thing, no,
All right, you guys have a good night.
see ya.
Thank you.
You keep your late night.
It's a late one, huh? It's gonna be later for you guys.
If you guys do a motion, these guys could probably start picking up.
Yeah, well, Ron's looking at the warrant. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss a legal matter at 7:50 PM.
All right, second